Hello, YouTube. Good afternoon. As we approach this tax deadline, of July 15th. I'm still taking calls, and today's call is from a woman from Lebanon. It's my first call from Lebanon, I think, and it's a really nice call. She just has questions on her LLC, what she can and can't do. Does she have to pay taxes? Why would anyone choose a corporation instead of an LLC? We go over all of that and more in the call, so let's get to it.
Haven't done my taxes, I'm too turned up. Haven't done my taxes, I'm too turned up.
Thank you for taking the call. Thank you.
Happy to talk. So, where are you calling from today?
From Lebanon.
Lebanon. Awesome.
Yes.
You might be my first one from Lebanon. I have a lot of different countries from over there, but not first one from Lebanon. That's awesome. Nice to meet you.
Cool, nice to meet you too.
So you have a company and you have
Okay,
I see. Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing and then we'll get started?
Yes. Okay. So I have incorporated LLC in Delaware. And I'm a foreigner and I'm the sole shareholder. And I don't have any profit in the US. And now I'm worried regarding my taxes, how I will pay them, etc. So I watched practically a video of yours on YouTube stating that foreigners won't pay taxes on US LLCs if they are not making any profit in the US.
Correct. Yes.
So if I'm not working there and making not any kind of profit, I'm not going to pay any sort of taxes?
That's right. What do you do? What's your business do?
Okay, I'm in marketing and advertising.
Okay. You manage accounts for businesses in the US and stuff like that?
No, I don't work in the US currently. That's why I'm asking. Like, I have no physical presence there.
Yeah, I know, but you obviously can run a digital business from Lebanon and service clients in the US.
Yes, and I won't be taxed.
You want to or you won't?
Right now, I'm not, but I want to in the future, and that's what I'm worried about.
No, there's no problem. I mean, you can service all the clients you want in the US. I mean, as long as you don't have an office or employees or anything in the US, then you're not really doing anything here, and you don't have to pay taxes here, especially for services.
Okay, and even if I have a bank account there, like, I have a corporate bank account since I have a Delaware company.
Okay.
And it does not affect anything.
In my opinion, it doesn't. I mean, some other more extremely conservative tax preparers, like accountants, CPAs, or whatever, might say that it does. But how I read the tax code and how I understand the law and how it's applied, I don't believe you to have a tax like paying requirement here.
Okay, and even if I transfer money from my bank account, like any other activity, it won't count and I won't be taxed.
Well, it's like this. The LLC isn't like a real company. It's just like a legal layer, a legal barrier, and you're not really doing any business in the US. All you're doing is allowing US banks to make a small profit off the money you keep in the accounts. And other than that, you have no ties to the US at all. Your income would be subject to tax in Lebanon where you're working and living. So that's where you would that's what it really comes down to, because you're, like, practically speaking, you live and work and do everything in Lebanon, and so Lebanon would have the right to tax you. And in this internet age, that's what it really, I think, and that's how I interpret everything that's coming down to. And logically, it makes sense too, right?
Yeah, it does. Yes. So even if, like, in the future I want to work in the US, I won't be taxed since I am resident in Lebanon. And
when you say work in the US, you mean get US clients, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's not working in the US. That's just having US clients.
Oh, okay. I see. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of marketing, like what kind of advertising marketing services do you provide?
Everything, like nothing in specific. It depends on the clients.
Okay. Do you like focus on a certain niche of like clients or an industry or something?
No, not really. So I have another question. I read somewhere sometimes you can file to be taxed as a C Corp.
Yeah.
So when is it beneficial to do so?
When is it beneficial to use a C corp and pay taxes? Well, that's when you'd be paying a lot more tax in your home country. Maybe for like a lot of European countries, they pay really high tax rates, and if they leave their money in their corporation, they pay 21% instead of like
Mhm.
50% on their income otherwise. So that's one of the biggest reasons. The other one would be to like
So
raise capital and to sell your shares and to have investors, and that's another one, like if you want to do that. And then the third one would be if you want to like have an actual presence in the United States, is when you would use a C corp almost every time. So if you have employees and you have offices and things like that, it's almost always these companies almost always use C corporations for that.
Oh, okay. So when you said 21%, you mean the federal tax? So, because sometimes I don't understand what federal tax is, and like my LLC won't have to pay federal. Okay, I know it's not gonna pay, but when does it pay federal tax?
The LLC,
Yeah.
the LLC never pays tax. If you come and work in the U.S., you would be paying tax.
Okay, so let's take this scenario because I want to understand the picture. Okay, I will pay, for example, a federal tax.
When?
What?
What do
Okay,
you mean?
so let's say I want to go and be a US resident.
Oh, cool. Welcome.
Thank you. Okay, as a sole owner of the LLC, will I have to pay federal tax, or I will never because it's a pass-through entity?
Well, it's a pass-through entity. That's exactly right. But if you come and live in the U.S., you would stop paying taxes in Lebanon and start paying taxes in the United States, and you would do that as on your personal tax return.
Okay, okay. So I will never have to worry about federal tax except when I have a C corporation. Is that right?
It's still federal tax. It's just not corporate tax. So if you come and work, if you have U.S. source income or use a C corporation, you pay federal taxes.
Okay, okay. And how much is it? 21%?
For a corporation, for an individual, it's progressive, and it starts at 0 and it goes up to 37%, I believe.
Okay, so it's based on how much profit I make and I will be taxed.
Yeah, exactly. And you can
Okay.
look up the tax brackets and the tax rates if you're a single person. It's like when you get to like 400,000 of net income as a single person, you're at the max bracket. But if you make like 100,000, you're paying like 20%.
Oh, okay, okay. Got it. So, bottom line for me right now, it's good that يعني not to file for a C corp, right? I stay as an LLC and I won't have to pay any taxes.
I probably, yeah. For most people, especially people starting out, the LLC is better because it's easier. The tax filing it's different and it's kind of harder, but at the same time, it's a little easier because you don't need to do all of the accounting. You need to have pretty good accounting, and you need to be thoughtful about what you're doing with your C corp. When you're LLC, you can kind of just operate and then figure out the tax filing at the end of the year.
Okay. All right. Do I have anything? Okay, so just a second because I prepared a bunch of questions.
That's fine.
Okay, now I have to file what we call a 1040 form.
Why?
Um, I don't have to report anything, even if I'm not going to be taxed.
Why are you going to file a 1040 form?
I don't know. That's how I read it. Because
Oh,
I'm an LLC.
I didn't, because I didn't, I'm sorry, that was a statement, not a question, so I was confused. So you're asking me if you have to file the 1040 form?
Yeah.
Okay, so like first of all, if you were going to file personal taxes, you would file a 1040 NR, which is a non-resident tax return. So much of the I'm going to say like 95% of the information about U.S. taxes is talking to U.S. residents, probably higher. It's all of the information you find on the internet is written for residents, not for non-residents.
Oh.
So that being said, for a non-resident, if you don't have any U.S. income, you don't have to file anything. If you want to
Oh.
file a protective return and say, look, I have no income, because I don't do anything in the U.S. You can file a 1040 NR if you want, but you have to request an ITIN, and you have to, like, it's it's kind of a lot of work for
Yeah.
unless you're making a ton of money and you have a questionable position. I wouldn't even do it. So you probably don't have a requirement to file. You only have to file the form 5472, which would be for reporting the transactions between yourself and your LLC.
Okay, so just that 4572 is a form that I am required to file.
Every year, yes. It's not a tax form. You don't pay tax. It's just to report the transactions between your LLC and yourself.
Okay, okay. Is there any deadline to file such form?
Yeah, July 15th.
July.
Normally,
Okay.
normally it's April 15th, but this year it's July 15th. And if
With
you file it,
Corona, okay.
and if you file it late, there's a $25,000 penalty. Isn't that crazy?
$25,000?
Yeah, it's a crazy penalty. But I have letters in my office of clients who have gotten it, and they were trying to have me fight it, and it just never goes away.
What the? Like, even if I was 1 day late?
Yep. If you mail it in it's automatic. So if they get the paper, they say when it was post dated, they put it in the system, they process the paper, and then the system sends you a letter saying you have a $25,000 penalty.
Oh, well, that's very cool.
I mean,
Okay.
most people, if like for you, if you got that, you would just close your LLC and probably open another one and just try and forget
Yeah.
about it, I guess. But you have to
Okay.
file that anyways. It's a form you have to file. So did
Okay.
you open your LLC? When did you open it?
Uh, the Jan 1st.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Good. So
So
you don't have to file until next year
until
then.
next, yes, no $25,000 penalty.
Exactly. Exactly. I finished and released the softest launch you've ever heard of my course on how to complete these forms. So it'll be up, and I'll update it every year so we can help people if they want to do that form themselves and instruct how to do it. So thanks for
Oh,
subscribing. You'll be hearing about it. I'm trying to put out more stuff.
okay, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So do you have any other questions?
Actually, that's basically it.
Was
Thank you so.
was it helpful? Did I answer everything?
Yeah, yeah. So I was worried about my taxes and stuff. And as you said, on Google, I can't find stuff like that because I don't find something for non-residents. And you've been so helpful.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel, and this is my main clients. This is all I talk about. So yeah, and
Thank
I'm
you
happy
so
the
much.
call was helpful. Thanks for showing up and everything, and I'll post this one on the channel too if you're fine with that, right? I saw it was a Zoom
Yes,
call.
yes, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much then.
Have a good day.
We'll be in touch. Have a great day. Thanks.
Of course, of course. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hope you enjoyed that call. I think it went really well. We went over all the things that we go over in most calls with a separate little twist and in a way that really help her out. So if you thought this was interesting, please like the video, subscribe so you can see future videos. And if you want to have a call with me yourself, you can schedule a call in the link below. I'm going to be all over the place traveling. We're finished this tax season. I'm still trying to take some calls. So I'm looking forward to helping you guys out with any questions you have and helping you be more successful and make more money with your U.S. company. Okay, so have a great day.